welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another 90-day recap. Now this is going to be the last recap for the show that just aired because the new episode is actually going to be airing tonight. So I'm going to try to get this recap out to you guys before the new episode because I need to be all ready to go for this new one to get you all the deets and more recap stuff this week. So, of course I saved the worst for last, and that is our focus for today's video, which is Angela and Michael. Yes, Angela and Michael. And you know what? They're not really my favorite couple this season, and it's not because of Michael. Yeah, I have not really been too thrilled of what I've been seeing, and yeah, it's kind of really put a bit of a bummer. But Angela is good TV, right? So let's get into it. Now, we start off this past episode with Angela basically in the Providence Hotel in Nigeria packing her bags. Because if you recall, they had a pretty big blowout over the last couple of episodes, literally since Angela's gotten off the flight, in regards to Michael not getting rid of that darn Instagram. Because it's okay for one person to do all of these wonderful things on social media, but be damned if you're gonna have that opportunity. Yeah, so there that is. So, of course, Michael in the last episode was a little bit less truthful in the fact of him deleting that Instagram. And so, of course, that blew up in his face, and where the chickens have now come home to roost. Hey, consequences for these actions. So, and anyone wants to lay down a consequence for an action, it's going to be Angela. Oh yes, it's going to be Angela. Absolutely, because she is that girl. Yes, she is. She is that chick. So, Angela is not very happy while she's packing. Clearly, she is bothered by the fact that, look, she has made a whirlwind trip from the U.S. to Africa, and now she's going right back again. And nobody's banging on the door begging her to stay. At least not at the moment, anyways. So Angela lets us know, hey, look, I'm really hurt about some things. The first of the items, of course, what we just talked about, the Instagram wasn't deleted. Second of all, he's calling some random his person. Because Angela should be the only person, right? And then the one item that hurts the most is that Michael basically just doesn't want to put in the effort to fix the marriage. And Angela shares throughout this episode that she is really tired of being the one that comes to the rescue of their relationship, especially when she's not doing anything wrong. Yes, another delusional person here on 90 Days. Are you surprised? So, she continues to be packing. She's a little bit bummed out that she can't wear those pretty hot pink pants. And maybe most of her wardrobe, because I really do think she had just touched down in Nigeria a couple of days prior. And I've only seen at least, 2 outfit changes? Not sure originally how long she had planned on staying. But yeah, I don't think a 48-hour trip was in mind. No, I didn't think that at all. So, of course, she's bummed, and I'm not really quite sure if she was supposed to be flying out that evening or the next day. It really doesn't even matter, does it? But she is packing, and she may be leaving. But I don't know. Did you guys see what happened to her traveling partner? I can't remember her name. She kind of came in and out, right? Did she already leave? Because I don't remember. I may have to go back to a couple of episodes, or maybe not, because I just don't think it really matters, does it? I think her job was done. She tried to play peacemaker, and, quite frankly, she did a pretty decent job, but, it started off a little bit rocky, with the whole banging and terrorizing him in his home thing, that whole thing. Yeah. So, anywho, we get to the point where her phone rings. Who do you think is calling Angela? It's Michael, of course. Now, Michael says, look, I want us to talk. But I thought it was really funny. As soon as that phone rang, Angela was over there lighting up. I mean, she has a cigarette at the ready. And so she decides to go ahead and get a couple puffs in, answers that phone, because I guess Michael will be having her nerves shot. I mean, they must be bad on the regular. But hey, this is the marriage of Angela and Michael. Are we surprised? So Michael, pretty much just says, hey, please, we need to talk. I want to talk. Let's just talk. Angela, of course, says, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't want to talk. Nothing else to say. I'm taking my rocks and I'm going home. I'm out of here. Toodles. Michael again says, please, we need to talk. Let's just talk. Let's talk it out like adults. Let's just do that. So Angela relents. She says, okay, let's go ahead and talk. Give me an address, place name, whatever. I'll meet you. Not going to be happy about it, but I will meet you. Because they're probably not going to do anything to change anything. But I'll meet you. Yes. Angela's going to meet Michael. So, there we have it, y'all. Maybe an opportunity for a peaceful conversation. We'll see how that goes. So it's later on that evening, and Angela is being driven so graciously by the 90 Days producers. And one of them asks her, well, how do you feel about meeting up with Michael tonight? Angela really doesn't know how she feels, quite frankly. But she says, look, I am going to go ahead and hear him out. And I'm going to shut my freaking mouth. And quite frankly, I think that is a great idea. And we thank you, Angela. We really do. Because anytime that I don't have to look at your tonsils is a good thing. From all the yelling and screaming and hollering that you do. Every episode. So I'm happy about that. And you should be too. Maybe you were happy. We rejoice on the fact that Angela simply says, I am not going to run my mouth. I'm going to keep that shut. I'm going to let Michael talk. I'm going to let him explain whatever he needs to explain. But I also want to make sure that he shows me action in the way of showing me that he loves me. I don't want him telling me that he loves me. Because, Michael's a whole liar here in these streets. So I need him to show me that he loves me. And then I'll decide after I hear what he has to say and see what he does, what I'm going to do. So, Angela makes it to the restaurant for the big sit down. Michael's already ready. He's waiting for her. He's even got a nice, looks very refreshing drink waiting for her. So they can have a very calm sit down conversation because there's been nothing but arguing and anything but calm for the last 48 hours. So everybody is waiting on bated breath, and we want to hear what Michael has to say. So Michael says, look, well, before we get right into what he says, he does actually, greet her with a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and it had to be the cheek because Angela gave him the whole side view, right? She wasn't trying to give him anything, but he went in for it anyways, and I thought that was a really sweet moment. So Angela, at least manages to say hello. When he pulls out her chair, she manages to say thank you and has a seat. And she manages to do exactly what she said was going to do, at least in that moment. And she was going to shut her freaking mouth. So I was elated. I mean, honestly, we could have sat in that whole scene just watching that. Now, Michael looked a little perplexed. Or was it scared? Because he wasn't confused. But maybe he was confused because he was probably waiting for all of the heat. All of the words, the beratingness, the yelling, the hollering that Angela is so well known for. And when he didn't get it, I don't think he even knew how to react in that moment. Can you say trauma? Anyone? Maybe? A little bit of PTSD from all of that yelling and screaming and arguing and pushing around. Because, Angela over the last couple of days has been acting like a whole real Hulk all over Nigeria. Well, at least in the areas that they've been frequenting. I'm pretty sure the whole town has heard Angela. And her yelling and her screaming and her hollering and her acting a fool and embarrassing the rest of us here in the United States. Because we don't all act like that. Unfortunately, there are some that do, but not all of us do. Yeah. So, Angela sits down, looks at Michael. Michael is searching for the words, for the moment. She says, look, hey, go ahead and talk. I'm going to listen. Now, she doesn't say about the listening part, but this is what we're alluding to. So Michael begins and says, look, I wanted to meet you because we need to talk about the fact, hey, you wanted me to delete my Instagram. Yeah, Michael, that's what she wanted you to do. Delete that Instagram. And so Michael had a bit of a change of heart because, see, the previous night they had a blowout about the situation. We already covered that earlier. And he was standing his ground. He wasn't going to be getting rid of anything. Matter of fact, you remember he had laughed at her and even told her to give him some money or something like that. I think that was even before she got on the plane. But he has decided to have a change of heart because he loves Angela and he really wants this marriage to work. They've been through thick and thin. They've been together for quite a long time. Because Angela actually confirms the fact they've been together for 5 years and married for 2. Lord, if it doesn't feel like they've been married for 20 and together for 100. I'm just tired talking about them right now. Imagine how exhausted Angela was on this last episode. Angela shared how exhausted she was. And of course, when you constantly come out of character all the time for just any old reason, such as the wind blew a certain way and you didn't like that, your body gets tired. It's a lot of exertion. It's not like Angela sits up and works out every day, right? I know she's trying to do a little bit more activities and stuff, and I think that's a great thing because, we got to keep the heart pumping and doing all things it needs to do. But all that yelling and screaming and hollering is just going to age you even more. And it's going to take a true toll on the body. Angela's now feeling that. Because when Angela rages, boy, does she rage. So, because Michael has felt that, I want this marriage to work. I want us to keep going. I want us to be good. I want peace to reign. So in order to make that happen, I am going to delete my Instagram. And I'm going to do it right in front of you. And that is exactly what Michael did. And all of the angels saying hallelujah. Because this is one argument we may not have to ever hear again. But who am I fooling? This is Angela. We'll probably hear about in a couple of episodes. Because either Michael will reinstate his Instagram, or she'll just bring it up because it's something to argue about. And if he doesn't have any new material to give her, she'll go ahead and pull from the archives. Because that's what Angela does. Angela's a bone collector. If you recognize that, she likes to make sure she holds on all of those past misgivings and misdeeds so she can explode them on you at any given moment in time. So yeah, there we have it. Michael has deleted that freaking Instagram. So you would think that Angela would be in rejoice mode, but she was shocked because her face said it all over. I mean, she just really didn't think this man was going to get rid of his Instagram for her. But he did. And how did she thank him for it? Well, she basically said, hey, you should have had it in the first place. Look what you have now done to me, because this is all your fault. Now, Michael can't quite understand, because this is where he is a little bit perplexed. Why is it that Angela can go and talk to Billy on the Insta and duet with him on TikTok, and it's okay for her to do that, but it's not okay for him to do whatever little dance and jingles he's doing on Instagram? Why is that okay? That sounds like a bit of a double standard. But I don't really think that Angela sees it that way. Do you? Let me know down below if you think that Angela sees her actions as double standard. I would like to know if anyone feels that they are. Because I don't think they are. I don't think that she thinks it is. That's what I should be saying. But it is a double standard. Maybe a triple standard by her means. So, yeah. He just kind of just says, okay, he's kind of surrendered. The flag has gone up. He's done. He's ready. Let's just move on. Let's move forward. Let's do this in love. And then Angela decides to throw curveball in there, because that's what Angela does. We got to twerk all that we can. We got to keep getting all of that juice out of this argument. I want to see that phone, Michael. I want to see that phone. Michael's like, what's the meaning of this? Why do I got to give you my phone? Why don't you trust me? And I think he's saying that at the same time he's scrolling down real quick to see if he can figure out any numbers that should be eliminated right away, but he didn't get to it in time. And she's like, look, hey, why are you trying to erase stuff? Give me the phone. See, I ain't trying to erase anything. I'm not trying to hide anything. My love, I'm just going to give you this phone. So Angela goes through the phone. He's like really tired of this. He lets it know that this isn't right. And she says, look, you need to get over it. I am your wife, and this is what happens. You want a wife? Well, this is what happens, because I will be in your business. That's right. You can be in my business if you want to. I don't care. But the real end note of this story is I'm going to be in your business every chance I get, because I have that right. And Angela loves to talk about all her rights. Oh, yes, she does. So as she's scrolling down the phone, she asks, who are all these females? Who are they? Michael. Michael says, look, that's my sister, my cousin's my niece. And then Angela finds that one special phone number. Angel, I think is probably how it would be pronounced. She starts spelling that name out. Who is this woman? And Michael's like, oh God, like, here we go. Round 80. Now, Michael's a bit hesitant on saying who he is, or who she is, excuse me. But he does admit that it's his friend. And Angela says, your friend. So this better not be the friend that you consider your number one. Because if it is or it isn't, it doesn't matter, because he's in trouble either way. This is what she tells us. All right, this is what she tells us. She says, because at the end of the day, he shouldn't have any female numbers in his phone. Point blank, period. And let me tell you something. It ain't like Michael has not had a lot of opportunities to understand that. Because Lord have mercy, every season, she is yelling at him for doing something when it comes to another female. Whether it be talking to him on the phone, talking to him in person, saying hello, opening the door, being kind, being courteous. It doesn't matter. If a woman is involved and it ain't Angela, it's a problem. So Michael had plenty of time to clear out his stuff over the years. Not even just in this last visit time, but over the years. But he forgot Angel's number. So Angela says, look, I am going to go ahead and call her because I want to know who she is. And Michael's like, oh, no, stop it. What do we do? Stop this now. Angela's not listening. Angela's done. So she gets on that phone. She rings and she goes, look, this is your fault because you shouldn't have had a number in the phone in the first place. Maybe one of us or two of us or three of us could probably agree with her on that. Bottom line is, I try not to agree with much Angela says, but I do understand some things. But most things have been kind of going in a blur because they're all lost in all her screaming and hollering and yelling. So anywho, Angela commits to dial the number. It rings and rings and rings. And then all of a sudden, eureka! Someone picks up the phone. Angela opens up with, not, hey, how you doing? Hello? This is such and such, and is this such and such? No, this is Angela, Michael's wife, and I would like to know why your number is in my man's phone. Now, that is the part I do agree with because, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not interested in having any of the females in my man's phone either. But it's the whole everything else that's a problem when it comes to Angela, right? So Angela asks that question, and it's not really asking, and she shouts it out. I want to just know that answer. So the young lady, who's probably trying to go through her Rolodex in her mind of who the hell she's talking about, and then she says, oh, he's my friend. Angela says, oh no, he's not your friend. You better go find yourself another friend. And then she goes to get ready to say something else, and Angel's like, ding. You can speak to the dial tone, Angela. That's what you can do. So I don't know if that friendship is salvageable. Angela sure as heck won't care about that. I don't know about Michael. But, Michael just goes on to say, you really didn't have to do all that. She is a friend. She's a friend from school, from a higher institution. Now Michael is about, 34 years old. So I'm sure it's been a while since Michael's in school. Higher institution or not. So Angela has the question, well, how do you have this number 5+ years later? Like, there's nothing else to talk about. You're not working on assignments. There's no group projects that you're doing. So what on earth are you having any conversation with her about? Now, mind you, 5-6 years or so, that's about the whole entire relationship of Angela and Michael. Now, Michael does share, look, I've had her number for years. But Angela wants to know, why haven't I not known about that all this time? My guess is that Angela just didn't really pay a lot of attention because she was really focusing on the face-to-faces that he was having. And we've already seen all of those things and how disastrous those meetings were, and we're not going to go over that again because we're talking seasons of this nonsense. So yeah, it's quite interesting how that went down. Now Angela says, as this young lady hangs up on her, look how your friend treats your wife. And he doesn't say anything, he just looks at her. But, it's right to say that we're putting an end to that. Now, I saw Angela kind of still going through the phone, so I don't know if she's trying to delete that contact or what, but, I guess we'll see later on. Who knows, maybe his friend will meet up on the tell-all. Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be really good because we don't have the aunt anymore, and I think anybody from his family probably just has no desire to speak to Angela, look at Angela, be in the same presence of Angela, whether it is virtual or not, ever again. This is on you. This is your choice. This is your situation. I don't want to be involved. Because you notice that every now and again you may see the friends who she called goofballs. They are back on the scene. But I think that's about the most you're going to get. Oh, except one of his brothers who was mortified by the way Angela acted when she ascended on his compound and commenced to act a complete fool. Yes. So he's probably didn't want to do with her either. But hey, we'll see if he'll be at the tell-all. We'll just see. So yeah, Michael says, look, I just want us to work out. I want us to be okay. Can we just move forward? Can we not just turn the page and move on from this situation? I love you. Okay? And I want this to work. And Angela, she loves him. And she says, look, I love you. I've always loved you. But you have put me through the ringer. And all I ask of you is to stop lying. Stop doing things that your wife isn't going to like. And the next time you go to try to do something that you think I'm not going to like, you need to remember the consequences of those actions. Because she's going to get up in that, what, if he does another thing. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I guess someone can keep hope alive for Angela and Michael. I don't know. But he's hanging on to this relationship. And I guess we'll have to see, because time will tell how this is going to go. But Angela, oh, Angela. Could you imagine how she's going to act when she comes to the States? Yeah, I'm here for the popcorn on that. So, Michael gets to a point of understanding, or maybe just pacifying the situation just to get out of this argument. Because it's quite the toilet bowl, swirl down conversation. Yeah. So, Angela goes ahead and puts down the daggers. They have an understanding because at the end of the day, she's like, look, can we not just go back to loving each other, being on the phone and talking to each other and missing each other? Can we not just do that? Michael says, yes, we can do that. Let's please do that. Let's start now. So Angela says, hey, look, I am so tired. I'm exhausted. I think the drink was done. Angela's not exhausted from that conversation. Angela's exhausted probably from her entire life. And even more so in short from the last 2 days. Because Angela's acting like a whole Hulk on this show the last 2 days. So yeah. But Michael makes sure to let us know in his confessional, look, I have to stand my ground, keep my position known when it comes to Angela. Because if I don't, she's going to walk all over me. And she's going to treat me like crap when I get to the United States. And I have to say, Michael, that is pretty much 100% going to happen, whether you stand your ground or not. This is who you married. This is your life. You're welcome to it. So I guess we'll have to see how things go and progress. But they end the night with Angela saying, look, I'm tired of poop. So what are you going to do? Are you going to come and stay with me, or are you going back to the house? The one I almost tore down with your car and everything. And he looks at her with his smoldering eyes and says, you know the answer to that. So she knows the answer. They get up, they hold hands, they say I love yous to each other, and they walk away into the sunset. Well, really the darkness, because the sun has already set it. And Michael lives another day to be humiliated at a later time. And guess what? We will be here for that. Or I'll be here for that, and I'll recap it and let you know. So yeah, I think that about does it for the sit-down conversation of Angela and Michael. I'm glad that's over. It was painful these last few weeks. This conversation was a little bit easier to take. And yeah, I think that wraps that up. So hey, look, the new episode is coming on tonight, so I'm going to be starting off my recaps. I think there's going to be a royale going on, and I'll be there to get the information and share it with you. And so if you are new here, I do hope that you will subscribe to this channel, be a part of this family. And for all you who already subscribed, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your viewing support. I appreciate it so very much. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It helps my video, it helps my channel, and I really do appreciate it. And look, I would like to know your thoughts. What do you think about Angela and Michael? Do you think that this is going to be a reunion that's going to continue on in wedded bliss? Or is an argument just waiting to happen here in the next couple of days? Do you think Angel and Michael's friendship is really over? Do you think she deleted that number out of that content? That being Angela. I would love to know that. So go ahead and drop those comments down in the comment section. Yeah, that's where it is. The comment section below. And let's start a conversation. And so until next time, be blessed, take care, be safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.